From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, July 9th, 2017. Silver is trading at $15.60 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,212 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 3.1 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $2,544. Antiwar.com reports the Pentagon's latest massive undercount of the civilian death toll in coalition airstrikes against Iraq and Syria has shown a significant spike in the death toll, putting the latest official count at 603 civilians between the start of the air war and the end of May. The figure is rising a lot faster than it used to, growing by scores months now instead of by single-digit numbers, reflective of the general trend of soaring death tolls as U.S. strikes concentrate on densely populated civilian targets. They're still wrong, however, and wrong in a big way. The official number of 603 killed is less than 1/7 of the figure by air wars, which puts the civilian death toll in the same period at 4,354. This is because incidents with hundreds of civilians killed are often revised downward by the Pentagon to just a handful, and smaller incidents where only a dozen or so are killed tend to be ignored altogether. It is noteworthy, however, that the Pentagon is getting the trend exactly right, showing the spike in the civilian deaths exactly when the NGOs did, albeit with much less realistic numbers, and even notes that the massive numbers of civilians killed in recent months have been in the area around Mosul. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a Florida man caused chaos when he tried to open the exit door of a plane mid-flight, but a flight attendant hit him with a wine bottle as several passengers helped restrain him. The FBI charged Joseph Daniel Hudek IV from Tampa, Florida, with interfering with a flight crew after the incident, which occurred on a flight going from Seattle to Beijing, China. Hudek was traveling first class and ordered one beer before the plane departed. Shortly after, while the plane was in the air, he went to the restroom, came out to ask the flight attendant a question, and then returned to the restroom. 2 minutes later, he again exited the restroom and then ran towards an emergency exit door and attempted to open it. Two flight attendants attempted to stop Hudek, but he pushed them away as he again tried to lift the handle on the door. The flight attendants asked passengers for help, but Hudek fought them off as well, hitting one passenger in the head with a dessert wine bottle. A flight attendant then grabbed a 1-liter bottle of wine and hit Hudek in the head. The FBI states he did not seem to be impacted by the breaking of a full-liter red wine bottle over his head, but eventually was subdued and restrained with zip ties. Hudek faces 20 years in prison for the incident. When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more. Reuters reports President Donald Trump's commission to investigate possible election fraud will convene this month as more U.S. states have refused to hand over at least some voter data. Trump created the Presidential Advisory Commission on Election Integrity in May after claiming without evidence that millions of people voted illegally for Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. U.S. civil rights groups and Democratic lawmakers have called the panel a voter suppression tactic by Trump, who won the presidential election by securing a majority in the Electoral College, even though he lost the popular vote to Clinton by some 3 million votes. The Electronic Privacy Information Center, a watchdog group, has filed a lawsuit to block the commission's data request until its privacy impact can be weighed. A hearing in the case was scheduled for Friday afternoon. There is a wide consensus among state officials from both parties and election experts that voter fraud is rare. States rejecting the commission's attempts to gather voter information have called it unnecessary and a violation of privacy. Most U.S. states have rejected full compliance with the commission's request. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. That's shop.fppradio.com. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.